All right, it's a big day. We're letting Angela go out into the world on her own. We're getting ready to travel in a few days, and she has to go to her favorite place in the world, which is Walmart, which is about an hour that way. And I have to work today, so we're gonna go through the checklist, make sure she doesn't go all the way to town without money. So do you
What are you talking about? Made it to the laundromat. Only forgot one very important thing. And that's my wallet.
She drove 40 minutes in one direction to get groceries. Left your wallet.
If I keep acting like this, Cody's gonna put me in assisted living before I'm 40.
So do you have your wallet? The keys? Your drinky drink? Camera? I've got the camera, but I'm gonna hand it to you. And the box of all the camera accessories.
GoPro batteries.
All right, I'll just be here working.
Oh, and my phone.
And your phone. I'll just be here working. Good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks. A friend asked me not too long ago if we ever get sick of each other, being in the camp, this small space, the camper for so long, hour after hour, and I said, yeah, of course we do. Now, Cody and I are used to being together. We've done a lot of things. We used to work together and travel together, and so we're used to it. I think there are other couples that probably would have a learning period. There's still days you have to assess yourself and say, you know what? I need some time away. And that's when I go to do laundry, to the grocery store, to walk the dogs, get some fresh air. And then by the time you get back, you're happy to be home and it's fine. It's okay to get out sometimes.
He's happy again now.
Just take those old records on the shelf.
Something I've been needing to do since the weather's going to get a little cold this weekend is to take the batteries out of our electric bikes. We really haven't talked about our electric bikes much, but we really like them so far. We've got about 70 miles on each of them roughly. They're performing really well. The batteries are holding up really nice. They're just fun to ride around and nice and convenient. But in the owner's manual, it does say those batteries don't like super cold weather. So since we carry them on the back of the trailer and it's gonna get below freezing here in a couple of days, I'm gonna go ahead and take the batteries out, put them in the basement, make sure they stay nice and warm until it's nice enough to ride again. Taking the batteries out super easy. You just release the clip right on the side. I kind of put my knee right on the back side of the hinge, break them apart, slide the batteries out, you're good to go.
I'm not going to drive all this way and not find out what this little town has to offer. Hays, Kansas is chock full of history, and they do have a Fort Hays historic site that you can come and tour for free. You can walk around the grounds. So I'm going to go take a peek at it, see what they have going on here. There are a few buildings still here, still standing. These grounds used to be covered in several buildings, the hospitals, the surgeons' quarters, but it is neat to see a little bit of our history here. After this fort was turned over to the state in the early 1900s, most of the wood frame buildings were relocated or torn down. The 4 buildings that are still here have required quite a bit of restoration. Regardless of their position here at the fort, they were still fighters, and so they had to have weapons. But these guys had a very limited inventory of weapons to choose from, and advancements were pretty slow coming in. So they started with old muskets from the Civil War. This is a bit risque. In 1872, there was a chapel that stood right out here in this open area. And the women, the wives, wanted a dance hall to let loose a little bit. But they couldn't use funding, military funding for that, but they could use that for a chapel. So they had their dance hall in disguise of a chapel. Payday here at the fort was usually once every other month, but pay schedules could be irregular, creating a feast or famine situation for the soldiers. The prices here were set by the board of officers, and some soldiers accused them of making prices on some goods too expensive for enlisted men to afford. Although soldiers were paid less than civilians who did similar work, their basic needs were provided by the military. The lowest ranked soldier, a private, received about $13 a month. A non-commissioned officer might earn $30, and an officer would start around $116 to $125 a month. 2 up top, 2 down low. Sometimes officers shared quarters on officers' row, 3 to 4 men to a house. Housing was assigned by rank and seniority within that rank. If a higher ranking officer was transferred to the fort, he could bump a lower ranking officer out of the house. It was called ranking out. If all the homes were occupied, the lowest ranking officers and their families, if they were with them, they lived in tents on the grounds here. I love that this is a self-guided tour and you can just walk through it at your leisure. However, their very lifelike dolls keep scaring the heck out of me. The buffalo was a big get for both Native Americans and settlers. They could get as much as $3 a buffalo. Now the Native Americans used every single thing on that buffalo. The settlers, maybe not so much. Something that goes along with living out in the woods or out in the country. Possums, armadillo, those are pretty common things for my parents to contend with, especially if they have small animals, chickens or whatever. They really do have to watch out for that stuff. And when I talked to my mom this morning for her birthday, she was telling me a little bit about it because it's what she was dealing with this morning. Happy birthday, Mama.
Oh, thank you. He shot him and he was just laying there. He missed, I guess. I thought he missed and it shut him in, but he was just laying there. Turned the cage upside down. I said, oh, you're playing possum, honey.
This is the message that I just received. Well, I think we missed the possum when we tried to shoot it. Nothing was wrong with it. It was just playing possum. She was just acting out her name, I guess. Her mama would have been proud. I said, well, it's my birthday and I want to set her free. He said, whatever, have at it. And so I did. I had at it. She went free. The problem is she headed for the highway, so I should have taken her to the other side of the river. I said a prayer for the possum and said it's in God's hand now. Please make her go back the other way. They're so funny.
Well, I added something that I thought was cold tea. And there's 2 raisins in my teacup. So I think it wasn't tea. I don't know why there's 2 raisins in here. Just go dump it and start over.
Well, I need the first of that story. Back up. Do what?
I just found 2 raisins in my tea, and I was adding some milk or something to it out of the refrigerator.
Maybe Daddy put some raisins in a cup to nibble?
Yeah, I was drinking my tea, and whatever I added to it, there was 2 raisins in here, so it might have been cereal. It's a bean or something. Oh, it's just coffee bean fell in there. It must have been in the pan when I put my tea in there. That's what it is. It's a coffee bean. See,
I'm relieved.
I don't know about this. What is this?
All right, I love you too. Happy birthday.
You have a nice day today.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Frontier Park looks like an adorable park. Lots of hiking, biking trails. They have disc golf. The trees are gorgeous. But I'm going to check out the buffalo. They also have an albino buffalo here. If you like a good ghost story, this is a story that, although I can't speak for the people here, my understanding is if you grew up here in Hayes, you knew about the Blue Light Lady or Elizabeth Polly. Elizabeth married Ephraim Polly. She was born in 1843, and they lived in Iowa until he was relocated to Fort Hayes in 1867. He served as a hospital steward. The main story here is that she was helping her husband as the hospital steward assistant, I guess, matron. And during the time that there was a huge outbreak of cholera, I think that's how you pronounce it, she was helping him, and then she ended up coming down with the disease as well. She had requested to be buried near the top of Centennial Hill. I'll just put it right here. And then there's a lot of legends to say that years later people would see her with the blue light surrounding her as an apparition wandering the hills. I had to come check it out. Good thing I didn't come on a foggy full moon evening. Woo! This video should air on Veterans Day, so it's a great time to say thank you to all of our veterans. We appreciate your service. Made a quick pit stop here at this boxcar museum. My understanding is you can make a quick phone call and get a quick tour, even same day. But I did want to stop by and see it. It's right next to this Veterans Memorial as well. But this was the first boxcar used in World War I, and it was a gift presented by the French National Railroads to the state of Kansas in gratitude for the help given to France by the American people. The boxcar was named because of their capacity to hold either 40 men or 8 horses. They received the boxcar in 1949 here in Hayes, Kansas. We've barely scratched the surface at the history that's available here in Hayes, Kansas. So if you like history, this is a great one. It's a really easy place to navigate. It's a super cute town. But I've been told by locals, something you have to get when you come. And when a local tells you to do something, you better do it. Okay. So I came for the slushies. The biggest problem I had was making a decision because they have so many choices. And I got it dwindled down to the Big Red, which I haven't had Big Red in a long time. And then there was one that said energy. So I did both. Let's tasty. Maybe Red Bull. Oh, Big Red. Oh, that's good. I don't have enough cup holders. All right, water. Back seat for you. Hayes has a historical society. They have some other museums and things that you can tour. They even have a list of historical churches. Churches that were built back in the 1800s. I've already spent 3 hours playing and I still haven't gotten groceries or made my 70-minute drive back home. Thank you, Kim, for your help helping me navigate Hayes, Kansas and the slushy machines. To the store. Please don't back into me. Dang it. I'm supposed to turn that way. This sharp dressed man. Nice blue suit and tie. Older gentleman. You look sharp. Yes, sir. Big Red for the win. Sorry, dude. Slurping on my slushy. They say that roundabouts were put in place to help alleviate wrecks, that it helps the flow of traffic. They claim it. I don't believe it. There's no way. Another one? Oh my goodness. Okay, me first. Fuzzy's Taco Shop? Ah, people. And their names with hair in it. Come on with it. Cody's gonna wonder why it took me 5 hours to get to the store. Caffeine helped. I'm ready to go home.
Looks like she made it back. Did it seriously take you 5.5 hours to get groceries?
I mean, I detoured a little bit.
But I was expecting to see you about 3 hours ago.
I explored the town a little bit. You know, they have a lot of roundabouts there. I only had to navigate them twice to get back home. I took the wrong turn and then I had to like go navigate through the whole thing again.
But you made it back with your wallet and everything else, it looks like.
Yeah, and groceries.
Well, let's unload those. You can tell me about your excursion.
Okay. Right. I've got something that you're gonna be really excited about.
Luchito!
Found it,
This
finally.
stuff is the best and you can't find it anywhere. It's my favorite thing to put on everything.
Well, that's not true. We can find it at Walmart,
Some Walmarts.
but we haven't been able to find it for like a month or 2 months. So we're pretty obsessed. Well, Ange survived the day out on her own and managed not to forget anything or damage anything. I haven't done a full walk around the truck yet. Stop. But I'll do that here in a minute. It was a good day. How was your day? It was fine. Thanks for tagging along with me on my journey out. And thanks for tagging along with me and watching me sit at a computer all day. Love you guys. Catch you next time. See you next time.